welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Bootleggers special edition Bootleggers Shack build. Thanks for joining us on Fixing Up the Commonwealth. I hope you're well today. In the first episode, we got a fair bit done, a fair bit of the foundation done. We'll continue on today and we'll get that top half that you can see in the background started, and hopefully we'll get the whole shack up the top done today. So let's start getting some of these more floors on. We haven't quite got the walls on yet, so we've got to get that all done. Get into the build menu in a sec. There we go. Get all these floors down, all these walls in, and then we can start concentrating on up top. But we do have a heck of a lot of work to do with putting a lot of bits and pieces in here. So this build, I've got to say, if when you're doing your own build, and hopefully you are, and you've accepted the challenge, what you're going to find is there's a lot of repetitive work to be done in putting floors down. You know, for me, I'm putting all these grinded surfaces down, these textures down. That takes a little while. You'll see in a little bit all the rocks that fill in the gully that we've got. That takes a while, and blah blah blah. So and the actual whole area, the amount of decoration that I did was just unbelievable. And it's one of those, it's going to be one of those builds that you do that you're just going to keep decorating and decorating, and I kept coming back and putting more in. So be prepared for that in your own build. Okay, so I realised that these pieces are the pieces that are replicated on the other side. There you go, there's a big word for you, Matt, Eric, all the other guys that love the big words. Plasman, replicated is the big word for today. And so we probably need to replicate the wall that should be there too. But we're not going to do that because I realised that there is actually a doorway running this way. So we need to go and grab that piece we started off with. If we can find it here somewhere, there it is there. And we need to shove it in there. Like that. There we go. That goes in there like that. Yeah, like that. Maybe a bit more like that. And yeah, that's the third doorway that goes out there. Cool. All good. So you're going to have to start blocking parts up and doing all kinds of stuff here. So depending on where you want your door to go, you can either have it on that side or that side. So I'm kind of scratching my head at the moment, as you probably tell, to go, And that tree's in the way. So I think that forces me to make a design change here and block up this doorway in front of us. Now that tree, I wasn't sure how I was going to work it in. You'll see in the final build, or if you want to go back and watch the tour, you'll see that you wouldn't even pick that tree was there as such. Okay, so that will be that way out there. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, like I said, it's working it out can be an absolute pain in the you-know-what, but that's all part of building in Fallout 4, unfortunately. And I think that's, to be honest, that's why we all like it. It puts us in that lovely, happy, zen-like place where we can just try and spend a couple hours figuring all this stuff out and just not worrying about what goes on in the world, to be honest. This is going to be a reasonably long video today, and we will do kind of a pre-tour, which is different to the one you've already seen, and it's basically a tour I done once I'd completed all this building here up the top. So I'm going to show you that, and I'll walk you through a few bits and pieces that I don't actually show you in this part of the video, and some of the mods that I've used and stuff like that. So I'm trying to show you as much as possible if you decide to build on something similar like this, but hopefully it'll help you get your head around how to do this. Hopefully it hasn't scared you off either. So this I'll put this in for now. I'm going to have to rip this off, some of this out to do the upper half, but it's weird how that's got a gap there. But anyway, not to worry. plug in those gaps. You see how soft that was? That actually snapped into itself. Just kind of nice. The far end of this building is a little bit different. Like I said, I had to improvise a little bit because I wanted to make it look a little bit different for this third entrance. So here is the thinking time. Hopefully we're not going to be too long before we start building again. If not, I will edit it out. Bit like that, a little bit of a ripple. Can't be a bit of a ripple. There we go. And that can be the doorway outside. Fine, that all kind of worked out. So this is not, this end of the shack is maybe not as true to the original build as the other one. As the one in Fallout 76, but anyway, it all works. It works for me. It's kind of my interpretation of it. So we're making good progress. So now what I've done is I've just put all those floors down, as you can see, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a pillar and I'm going to lower this whole thing down a little bit, and you'll see the difference it's going to make. So I do an initial one to see what it looks like and see what. Okay, so now I need to get the pillar out and I'm going to lower that down, and like I said, this makes an absolutely huge difference to the overall look and feel and how this all blends into the environment. You're going to see that in a sec. So try and get it as near to the rocks as possible, like that, and make sure we can pick everything up like that, and then just drop it down, ease it down until you're comfortable with where it needs to be. Now that might, I think I fine-tuned this, but you can see straight away that's created a natural kind of valley that we walk into, and I need to do some tweaking with more of these floor pieces, but it's not going to be too hard. So I'm looking all around here to see how that's all kind of fitting in, and whether it's low enough or whether I have to tweak it again and pull it down a little bit more, which I feel I do. Just drop it down a little bit further if I can. It's going to fight me, but I think, there we go. Yeah, there we go, that's much better. And yeah, huge difference. And now you can see those pieces just blend beautifully into the rock, and it's very, very believable now. Of course, possibly you might wanted to put these pieces in before you dropped everything down, but you can always push it back up, add those pieces, drop that back down if you want. Just spend some time tweaking it. So now we are going to address the fact that this thing is floating in midair. So I have to find a post of some kind. So I end up going to beam supports and ladders, I think it's called. If you look at the first video that I did on the build, you will see it in the description, in the mods list. I think it's about the second or third one along. So I'm playing around with what I've got, and then I suddenly realised that I have that mod installed, and it gives me a huge amount of options as far as posts and kind of supports and all that kind of stuff goes. So I'm going to flick through these. I probably will edit a lot of this out because it's just trying to find the right piece that'll fit in there. It's a great mod, but eventually I'll get these supports here, which I'm going to have to drop down. I think in the end I actually find a shorter one than this, but I'm not going to show you this because this stuff is the mundane stuff that you do when you're building. So I'm going to have to put supports all over the place. So I just go around and drop a whole heap of them in here. I think that one that just flicked past is the one that I actually end up choosing. So show you how to do the first corner, and then we'll move forward. The footage that I had for this was like, I don't know, over an hour just to do some of this stuff. So I'm choosing what I think is interesting for you guys to see. So what I tend to do with this is I tend to put one on there, place anywhere switch off global collision for this one only, put that one on that corner, and then I'll go around and rinse and repeat all the way around this building. Once I get this into position, just like that, and it looks like it's supported, and voila, there you go. Now you can see, if you watch carefully, you notice that the floor has now changed completely in color, but there's still those light ones there. So it's what I was telling you about. I found a better match for the floor. Now I'm going to speed this up. You can see I'm using the rocks from Dry Rock Gouge in the Nuka world. And this is settlement something expansion. I can't remember what that mod is called. It's where these boulders come from, and I'm just hiding this, but I'll show you what I've done down in the gully in a second. This is the stuff that just takes forever to do, and it's like a little mini jigsaw. You have to put it down, push it across, fit it in, rada. It might work, it might not. And yeah, it takes forever to do. That's why I've sped it up. Finding the right pieces can be a nightmare, and yeah, anyway, it's not working for me. You can see it's just, yeah. So let me take you down into the gully in a sec, and we'll show you what we end up doing down there. So you will see, so we're just about finished here. There we go, put that away. Okay, cool. It's a little detail, but it hides the edge of that kind of concrete flooring there. So I've spent quite a bit of time down the bottom here, and there's several mods that you can get that have these rocks, but you can see that all blends in quite nicely, and you wouldn't really know that that wasn't in the game. So several mods that you can get those boulders with. Dead Wasteland, Grounded has some, Settlements something expansion has it, I think USO has it. So there's a whole lot of mods that you can get to grab those boulders. So we're going to start on the upper half here. The biggest drama seems to be able to get this ladder in the right position, which we have now. And this was a strange one because I don't know why I did that. Why did he do that? What? Why? How? I think I redid the upstairs about 3 or 4 times, and before I was happy with it. It was mostly just the I can't get up there now. It was mostly the roof that I wasn't happy with. It just, do you ever have those days where the stairs won't go where you want it to go? I do. And I'm going to put it, you know what, I'm going to push it across to where I had it originally. So I'm just trying to figure out where the best place for the stairs are, is if you hadn't noticed. But yeah, I spent a lot of time configuring this, ripping it out, reconfiguring it. It took a while. But anyway, you got to be happy with your final build, I guess. So it's a pretty easy area to do up here. He said, having said he just ripped it out and redone it 3 or 4 times, but it is actually quite easy. So we're going to put one of these outer cap walls in, like that. That fills in that gap. This deck here, or this outside area, ends up being a bit too big, and hence why I have to reconfigure it a little bit. But I'm not going to show you all this. I'll show you the first run through. And we'll leave it at that, because you'll build it your own way anyway, so it's really not going to matter. But yeah, this outside deck just takes up too much room. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to put a corner piece in. So I find that, you'll see in a second, I find a corner piece, and trying to find where it's going to fit in this configuration is just, frankly, stupid. It just gets silly. So I cut it out. Again, I'm going to edit it out, but you'll see it. You'll see where I end up leaving it, putting it, and it's an outer cap wall. There it is. There, see. I've spent about 5 minutes trying to find the right spot for this. Believe me, but that works there. And I have to end up ripping all this out anyway, because upstairs is just not big enough. The inside part is just not big enough. So I'd advise you to try and use these scrappy outer walls. They're a bit more substantial than the normal walls, But if you look at the shack from Fallout 76, you will see that it has quite a substantial look about it upstairs, and quite a scrappy look about it also. So that's what I'm going to use. And I like the fact that it looks very run down, and there's lots of stuff just very patchy, and looks like it's all been nailed on willy-nilly and all that kind of good stuff. So initially what I'll do is I'll put a floor through there. Geez, my words are not good today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need more medication or something. No, do not answer that. I'm sure I'm going to get comments about that. Yeah, just give me an additional area there, but as I said, I'll reconfigure this anyway and that all disappears. So it's a possibility that you can make it in that last piece just won't snap in there for whatever reason. Of course it won't, because it's, yeah, because that would be too easy, eh? So I'm going to faff around with this for a while, but I'm going to have to go and sleep because it's starting to get dark. So I'm going to have to start and sleep in a while and come back. Okay, so there we go. We're doing all right so far. We just got to get a roof on, and we should be good. So I'm going to show you the outside of this, and I'll talk you through why I'm not happy with it once we get this roof on. So we're going to put a double roof on like that, right there, and then we're going to put a sloping roof on here because that one's not going to fit in. There we go, like that. Now you may be able to pick up that I've actually reconfigured this now, and there's a bit more room upstairs. It's probably a little bit hard to tell from the angle I'm showing you right now, but there we go, sloped roof, good, all good. This is a bit shorter, we've still got that bit there, but we're going to fix that. There we go, and that's good. We picked up about half a floor size. So let me run around and show you. I'm not happy with the way this side looks. It's okay, but when you see the other side, you'll see what I mean, because the other side has that kind of triangular roof look about it, and that's kind of what I'd prefer to have on both sides for continuity's sakes. Big words, I know. So, okay. In Fallout 76, there is these junk fences, and they're pretty simple to put in. Now, it's that one. I'm not convinced with the configuration that I come up with here that I've got it right, and I actually was almost tempted before I done my final walkthrough to pull the other fence that I build in a bit out, because it just encloses this area a little bit. I'd be interested to know what your feeling is on it, or what your opinions are on it. If you look in the original Bootleggers shack, it is very open, and on the other side of this fence. So I'll show you when we get to that point what I'm talking about, so it all makes a bit of sense. So I was going to do that, and then I was like, yeah, I'd prefer it to be over here, there. Put that one there. And again, I'm looking at my reference video, and I'm like, yeah, I should be using the tire one, not that. Oh, is it that one? That. Oh, I've missed it. I've gone way past it. We'll come back. That one. Yeah, it's that one, isn't it? Or is it that one? I can never remember. I'll use this fence a lot, and that clips right in. That works. That's nice. So you're going to see in a minute, I put a fence right in front of me here, and I'm not sure that I should have put another door in on that fence. We're going to edit me building it out, because it's just another junk fence, and I don't think there's any value in me just showing you putting another junk fence in. So this area in here, I'm going to put the workbench here. So initially I put it in this corner, and it stand back, have a look. Doesn't quite work. So that doorway off to the left there, I'm almost tempted to rip that out and just have an open area there to walk through. I'm interested what you think about that. So I end up putting these little slopey roofs on, and in the spirit of Fallout 76, where they have an area, outside area, or a common area where you can access your benches, workbenches. Now, in the original Bootlegger Shark, some of these benches are inside, and so you could do that, but I decided to put it outside instead. So I put these flat roofs in, and I stand back and look at them and go, yeah, they're all right, but I'd rather have a sloped roof. I think it looks a lot more interesting, so that's what we end up going with. We end up pulling, yeah, there we go, like that. And I know there's a gap there, but we will fill that gap in a little bit later. There we go. Now, to me that looks a little, we'll fill that gap in later. That looks a little bit more interesting. Put some pillars on them and we're good. And these, as you know, if you've watched for a while, I do not like those square posts. I like these ones much better. That's it. It's got that. Cool. And there you go. That's a nice little area that you can put your all your kind of workbenches in outside. And yeah, very much in the spirit of Fallout 76. Just drop that in the middle there. And we can build a little workshop. Probably need to do a little bit more, and you'll see in the final tour, probably need to do a little bit more decoration to make this a bit more believable as a workshop area. But the amount of decoration in this particular build is quite astounding. The amount of items that I put in here was quite amazing. So I'm using Creative Clutter for my workbenches, just because I think their benches look better because they've got bits and pieces on them, which I really like. There we go. And that's that. It's as simple as it needs to be. It probably needs a few bits and bobs here. So we are going to show you what we finally came up with from the top side and how we dressed it all up. You can see down in the gully we're forced to go up this little path here. Now I've used grasses and all kinds of stuff, plantings, to kind of dress this up and make it look as though it fits in with the environment, and I think it works really well. Those grasses you're going to find in all kinds of mods. Grounded has them. Dead Wasteland is the one I used here for all those grasses on the outside. There's several mods have them, and they're usually in the landscaping tab of the decorations. You can see Dead Wasteland has all these dead stumps and stuff like that are lying around as well. So you can see that floor that we had and the different colours. You can't really tell now because of the way I've dressed this up. Put a lot of stuff around as distractions, old pallets, all kinds of stuff, for old fridges, everything just to kind of distract. And this is not the final decoration build, as you'll see. I put a lot more junk and decoration in this build before I give you the final tour. So you can see that I've fixed the top area is now fixed, the roof's fixed. All these piles of crap come from Dead Wasteland and really make a difference up on the side of the building. You see the piles of stuff and are lying around all over the place. The water purifier is from USO, big condenser, and you can see there's still stuff that I add in that isn't here yet. Like I said, I just feel this area is underdone a little bit, this kind of workshop area. So, you know, again, it's tough sometimes to know when to stop decorating. This door I think I should just get rid of, but for now I'm going to leave it in and we'll show you around. So Takes forever to put all these grasses and all kinds of stuff in here, but it's well worth it because it does kind of make it look as though Bethesda actually built it, or it was actually here in the game. So we'll go inside. You know there's a secret door there. You know what happens with that secret door. If you want to know how I built the downstairs part of this build, leave some comments down below and I will put a video together for you guys. I haven't planned to do that, but I'm happy to do that because I have the footage, and I'm happy to do a part 3 if you think you'd be interested in seeing it. The leaves again are from Dead Wasteland inside. And again, I put a heck of a lot more decoration in here than what you're seeing right now in the final build. This is, like I said, this is pretty much after I'd got everything built and kind of decorated, and I wanted to just run around, have a reference video, and then run the original and just see how it all stacked up. So guys, it is certainly a very challenging build to do. It's a heck of a lot of fun. I had a huge amount of fun doing this build. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing how I kind of put it together. So we're going to leave it there for today. A like rating is always appreciated. If you happen to have come across my video and you're not subscribed, have a look around the channel. If you like Fallout 4 builds, there's well over 100 builds now, probably closer to 200 now. Have a look around the channel. If it really does help you, please subscribe and you'll keep up to date with everything on Gaming for XP. And we will see you next time on the channel. See ya!